Hi everybody, it's Spear here, and welcome to another Archetype 101. Before we get started, we are doing the draw for the giveaway on stream today. We go live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time. So if you want to join us and see who does win the 1K giveaway, then go ahead and follow the stream. Links are down in the description down below. So today we got Yellow Vanilla Gohan. I did have this marked as mono yellow before because obviously the first two Unison sets have been very mono color centric, but it turns out that most of the cards in here care about like if you have yellow or if your leader is yellow, but not specifically mono yellow. So we hashed out the yellow and now we're just dealing with Yellow Vanilla Gohan, which is great because it allows us to really diversify our options. And one thing that you'll notice with this archetype is that it really leaves itself open specifically for that. Options and different ways to take the deck, as funny enough vanilla decks tend to be. So the quick overview is that it is a vanilla beatdown deck. Now instead of focusing on 2 and 3 drops, which we used to see with the previous Kid Goku vanilla decks, now it's more 1-drop beatdown. So we're turboing out a bunch of 1-drops, most of them being 10Ks, and then we give them boosts as we go, and we use them to cycle our different parts of our engine. It's a leader-centric engine. Leader-centric engines are phenomenal because it means you have a lot of diversity in how and where you can take the deck. If the leader carries the engine on its back, that means you have less cards that need to worry about it in the main deck, allowing you to tech more options, allowing you to bring in a second sub-archetype, and allowing you to really be able to deck build the way you want to build it. Meaning, it's a tiny engine. There's actually... You're gonna realize, you guys will realize with the length of this video, this is really a small archetype. There's not that much to go over. So we'll just jump right into the leader. Of course, we have Sun Gohan, permanent during your turn. If you have a Skilless battle card in play, this card gets 5k power. So he's a 15k attacker most of the time when there's an awaken side. That's great. Especially if you're the aggressor and you're not gonna self-awaken right away, it at least allows you to still be able to put pressure on your opponent's leader. Auto, when this card attacks, draw 1 card, then add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. Self-awakening on the front side is always great as an option. When your life is at 4 or less, you may draw 2 cards and then flip this card over. We're seeing way more draw leaders these days, which is interesting to see them make a comeback. I think for a long time, energy restand was king, and to an extent, I think it still is, but we're in a place now where hand advantage plays such a critical role, and hand destruction has a real spot in the meta now, that actually drawing the extra cards can end up being more relevant. And on the awakened side, we have Sun Gohan and Higher Dragon, Bondless Friendship. Can we just say, why is it not called Icarus? Why is it called Higher Dragon? I don't know. I'm kind of in the camp of people who are a little bit miffed about that one. I don't totally understand it. But anyhow, activate main once per turn, draw 1 card, then play 1 yellow Skilless battle card with an energy cost of 1 from your drop area. And that's where the leader-based centric engine I'm talking about is based off of. The fact that on your leader itself, it's playing out Skilless 1-drops from your drop also, which means not only are you playing the Skilless cards that the rest of your deck needs to really function, but additionally you're getting them from your drop. There's a number of cards in the deck that use the vanillas on board as cost or as a resource to be able to do something, so that's a great way to be on recurring those vanillas. And then activate battle once per turn. When this card is in a battle, if there is a monster card in your combo area, draw 1 card. Higher Dragon falls under a monster, so essentially anytime you combo a Higher Dragon card, you're going to be able to proc this off. Then we have the search. Obviously, one of the most powerful things that any vanilla deck can do is the free play and searching of the vanillas. And in that sense, we have Piccolo, a Bad Omen, 1 cost yellow, add 1 card from your life to your hand. When this card is played, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose 1 yellow Skilless card with an energy cost of 1 among them, play it, and then shuffle your deck. And we have Sun Gohan and Higher Dragon, best buddies, this one being coming out of the tournament packs. Unique, when this card is played, add up to 2 yellow Skilless battle cards with an energy cost of 1 and different card names from your deck to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. Activate main for 1 yellow. If your lead card is yellow and you choose 1 of your yellow Skilless battle cards and place it in its own drop area, play this card from your hand. So this is what I was saying, right? You're able to play out your vanillas at the additional cost of an extra card, which is great. You're getting 2 cards value for 1 card. And then for activate main, you get to use those Skilless cards to be able to ship to the drop, which your leader can then get back with the awakened side. And you're able to play out this 15k beater, which then goes and searches more vanillas. So it's a self-feeding circle, and that's really what vanilla decks have been really good at doing for a while now, is making sure that you're able to get the board filled with just a bunch of teeny weeny beaters. And then additionally, we have the kind of like solo payoff, you could say, is Sun Gohan Higher Dragon Flying High, unique dual attack. If this card would be moved from a battle area, it is sent to its owner's warp instead. I don't know what this is protecting from. I feel like it's just preventing you from being able to recur Higher Dragon combos, I think, if it ever hits the board. And then permanent, all of your yellow Skilless battle cards with an energy cost of 1 gets 5k power. So late game, now your 1k beaters can actually threaten the Awakened Leader, which is fantastic. It's one of the abilities that we're constantly looking for when we're looking to play this 1-drop strategy deck. And finally, activate main for 1 yellow. If you have 3 or more energy and choose 2 of your yellow Skilless battle cards with energy cost of 1, place them in the owner's drop area, play this card from your hand. So again, now we have a 25k dual attack beater that we're paying 1 energy for, and essentially 1 battle card for. Yes, we're shipping away 2, but with our leader ability, we get 1 back right away. So effectively, the cost is for 1 drop and 1 energy. We're getting a 25k dual attacker, which is a very, significant card. It does a lot for the energy cost that it's occurring. So what are the vanillas? We're not going to spend too much time covering them because obviously they're just vanillas. But here we have a 1-drop Sun Gohan and a 1-drop Higher Dragon, both of which are 10k, 5k combos. Nothing special there, just of note, very thematic, very on archetype. And keep in mind the Higher Dragon is one of the cards that you can combo away to proc off some of your abilities that look for a Higher Dragon in the combo area, specifically your leader. Of course, every archetype gets its own unison. Here we have Son Goku Forever in our mirrors, essentially a skill drain. I hate this card. This card frustrates me because it turns off my invoker on my 3-drop Vegeta, which makes me very sad. But regardless, permanent, if your leading card is yellow, all of your battle cards and your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost 5 or less have their skills negated, and all of your battle cards with an energy cost of 1 gain 5k power. Now we're making our 5ks into Awakened Leader threats again. Having multiple versions of the effect is fantastic, and you're skill draining yourself, but you don't care because you're just playing a bunch of vanillas, and you're skill draining your opponent, which is nuts. It's so good, especially when you consider that a lot of the best ways to deal with Shenron are going to be cheap double strikers, which you just can't. Then he has a +0 activate main, play up to 2 yellow Skilless battle cards which cost a 1 from your drop area. Awesome. And then -2 activate. If your leader card is yellow, your opponent may only attack with battle cards once during their next turn. So it has that option to be able to put pressure, as well as having the ability to make sure that your opponent can't actually kill you the next turn. Odds are. A phenomenal card. I'm not seeing too many lists with it right away, but this is one of those cards you need to keep in mind today and moving into the future, because it's one of those cards that can completely and utterly take over a format if the right strategy presents itself. Now, while it's not released this set, it'd be dumb for me to not actually mention this card from the anniversary set. Son Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. Saiyan Scions. +1, choose this card. All your Skilless battle cards, I'll get 5k. Like I said, redundancy in this ability is amazing. -1, you get to play 2 Skilless battle cards that cost 1 from your deck right away. So on turn 1, if you're the turn player, then that's amazing, because you just go ahead and start right away on turn 1 to flood your board with a bunch of 1-drops. Fantastic card. And -2, shuffle 2 Skilless battle cards from your drop area into your deck, draw 2 cards, which oftentimes to pay cost for stuff, we're going to have Skilless cards in our drop. Not part of the archetype officially, but it'd be dumb for me not to mention it. And we're going to hit that again when we talk about old synergies. Everything we just saw, like up until the yellow unison card, that was the archetype. That's all it has. Everything else is old stuff because that archetype has like 6 cards. That's it. And it just goes to show how leader-centric and tiny engine vanilla decks tend to be, especially with this specific leader that goes and recurs the vanillas all by himself. In terms of old synergy, we have, I'm not going to show everything, but just to kind of give you an idea of what you can work with, you have Pan, Natural Fighter, Auto. When you combo with this card, choose up to 1 your Skilless battle cards, and then choose 1. It either gets blocker until the end of the turn, which means you have a defensive option, or it has the offensive option, where it gets an additional 5k and critical for the duration of the turn. So it's a 10k combo, and it either gives block, or it gives critical. It's a pretty good option. It's something to consider. And of course, I'd be remiss to not mention the Son Goku package. 1-drop allows you to get 4-star balls. 4-star balls are great because with your vanillas, they're 10k combos. You can recur turn after turn after turn, which means it's hand advantage that you're not really losing. So obviously, another consideration for the deck, especially since you're not actually tied to being mono yellow. You can play black cards. And I'm just looking at the time on this video. This is a really short video. The engine is insanely small, but it just goes to show that this is, for people who really love deck building, leaders like this are phenomenal because they carry a lot of load on themselves, which opens up the deck to do so many other things. And it doesn't even have to be mono yellow, which we could look into being yellow red or yellow blue. A lot of different options to kind of take our strategy over. Do we need bean, or do we need to run some red cards to maybe then be able to use the heartfelt plea? A lot of different options to consider, and this is one of those decks that really rewards deck building. So for any of you guys who love deck building, this is the one for you. How are you guys gonna build it? Honestly, let me know in the comments down below. I'm really excited to know how people are gonna do it. I've been seeing a lot of different decks on Shenron's Lair, so it's really piquing my interest to see where people take it, because I have a few different ideas. So I'm really excited to know what yours would be. If you guys liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys thought it was bad, give it a thumbs down. That works too. And if you want to see more Archetype 101s, we'll be hashing them out throughout the rest of the week. Then feel free to go ahead and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Ciao.